Hello, welcome to the Alabama PIRC podcast. I'm your host, Sherry Wilson, and today my extra special guest is Scott Hughes from S.A.F.E Teams. Hi, Scott.
Hello there, Sherry. I feel extra special today.
You are extra special.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for coming. And tell me a little bit about S.A.F.E Teams.
S.A.F.E Team, well, it's an acronym for Schools and Families Engaged, and we're known as the S.A.F.E Team on campus. The short and sweet is our challenge is to get with every school. We want a school to come in and start our program so that every family member has a place to start and get started by serving for one day, all day, as a volunteer on their campus. And real simple, we have three things. We call them Safe Time, Safe Walk, and Safe Zone. And those three elements are where they have a chance to participate in classrooms, have a chance to be a safety element on school campuses through the Safe Walk, and lastly, Safe Zone is that anyone who comes in our building, of our school, signs in, knows we're there, so that our school is safe and our teachers feel safe and our students feel safe. And anyone's supposed to be there, supposed to be there. If you're not supposed to be there, it's okay. We're going to ask you to leave probably. So anyways, it's stuff like that where we just want to, everything is about safety with our kids, but it all comes back to education.
Mm-hmm. So how did you get started with S.A.F.E Teams?
Well, it came back, really, it's a history for me. I sit back, I say, I will tell you, I didn't really enjoy my first schooling experience. But then I got married and then we had kids and my son's about ready to head on into kindergarten and I'm planning on not attending school. I've got a great dad, I got a great family, but education wasn't where we engaged. And so I wasn't planning that process. And so I was ready to send my son off to school. But a tragedy happened in Arkansas that back in 1998 that then started a father I knew from church that he started a program, we got men involved in his school. And he said, Scott, why don't you do this at your school? And I said, well, I really don't want to. He says, just show up for one day. Okay, I can do that. And I did. And what happened was I got in that environment of education. I've not been there in 15, 20 years. I mean, I happened to get on through college and made it through and had a working career, but I didn't have a vision for coming back to school. So that's what kind of kicked me off. And all of a sudden I got plugged in that for 10 or so years. And before I knew it, the passion came that I believed in education, the value of it, plugging into my kids' lives. And I'm seeing the rewards as a father, as a family. Everything has to do with education, and just finally saw the value of it.
Right.
So
you got started working with men to get them more engaged. So is S.A.F.E Teams is about more than men, though, right?
It is. Start off with men. I mean, this, talk about a unique instance when you see men come to campus. It's just rare. If we could go to any parent group meetings, whether it's PTA, PTO, whoever it is, I mean, when we sit back, what we see are typically a lot of women that have found the passion, saw the vision, and they're out there, and just not a lot of men step up. It's not that maybe we don't care, it's just we're just not sure where to start. And so that was half the battle. Well, this program helped start men. And at that point, it was totally focused there. But the reality was there are too many schools in our great country that 65 and 85% of the children going to those schools do not have their father in their life.
Right.
And when that's the case, but what you're trying to do is you're trying to get men involved. There are great men in these kids' lives, but it really came down to we need to not only start men, but we have great women out there that don't even know where to begin in schools. So the S.A.F.E Team focused on the family. And the reality was, it also became bigger than just mom and dad. Kids are being raised by their aunt and their uncle. They're being raised by their grandparents.
Right.
I know a young boy who's in first grade being raised by his great grandfather because between him and that young boy is methamphetamine for 2 generations. He's all he's got. At 82 years old, he's raising a first grader. It's not my retirement plan, I guarantee you. But the reality is, that was a reality. And whoever that family member was, we want to make sure they engage in that child's life because you give me a strong family and give me a great education, and culture can change.
Right.
It comes down to that.
And culture eats change for lunch. I heard that once.
That's interesting. Hadn't thought of it that way.
Absolutely. So you sound very passionate about this. How many schools are you working in now?
Right now, well, we just, in the 2008, 2009, we did our full development of everything that's happened with all of our experience. We have well over 350 schools in training to launch in the fall 2010.
Fantastic.
So we're very excited about that. We have well over 25 schools right now that are up and running and going. But now we're being brought into states around the country because one of the unique things we did is we decided that technology is our friend. I mean, here we are, we're sitting on a podcast.
Right.
Come on. 5 years ago, we're not sitting on podcasts, okay? We're about ready to upload a video to YouTube. We're getting the word out. While we go around and speak at conventions, this is what gets the word out now. Someone's going to Twitter feed this, someone's going to shoot this off. we realize it's a dynamic. But to reach 80,000 schools, to reach millions of families, you better have a communication, the ability to produce a program that is available on the web, that everyone can access, that every school can be successful because it's a consistent message and a consistent program.
And that brings me back to, technology brings me back to your program, because
Okay.
your program